Alright guys, hope you're doing well. My name is Rowlands and I'm a nutritional balancing practitioner. And yeah, a few questions I've been getting since I sort of left Dr. Wilson was sort of what am I changing? Do you know what I mean, sort of thing, and what changes I'm going to make to the program and stuff. And I suppose I want to stress really that I didn't particularly leave Dr. Wilson because I necessarily had a big problem with the program. I left for other reasons. However, there is a few things that I am a little bit uncomfortable about, and I have been changing, or at the very least educating people more, with what I'm doing at the moment. And it's given me a lot more confidence to open up about a few different things. So yeah, on the whole, I don't have a problem with the program, but there's a few things that I am now giving more advice about, basically. So the first ones really is a few of the supplements, mainly Megapan, Limcamin and SPF, but not as much SPF. And I always found them to be sort of problematic supplements in general. They tend to cause people problems sometimes with especially things like insomnia. It turns out, and this is not in my part, but due to some of my clients and some of the people I know, that there's a link which involves inactive B6. In simple terms, the body has to convert inactive B6 into active B6, and if you've got a poor liver, the body doesn't do a very good job of converting the inactive B6 to active B6. And generally what you find is if that accumulates in the body, it tends to cause a lot of the symptoms that I was finding with these supplements. Interestingly enough, one of the counter supplements you can take to help with the insomnia is GABA, and I've had a particular client who was definitely struggling with some of the effects of Megapan take that supplement, and that sort of definitely helped alleviate the problem. Now there's a lot more science behind this. I've got a client who knows way more about it, so hopefully I'm going to be getting him on the program soon, on the YouTube channel soon, for him to talk about exactly what he thinks the problem is. I've been doing research into it too, and it's definitely matching up with the problems that we see in these supplements. One of the countermeasures that I've been taking in my programs is by basically changing the dosages and giving much more education around the dosages. And if anyone's interested in that, they are quite welcome to pick up a supplement report from my app, www.hairanalysis.report. But the more I look into this, the more I speak to people who've had problems with it, the more I speak to people about the inactive B6 problems and what it can cause, I'm sort of coming to the conclusion that probably we'll have to switch out Megapan, and definitely Megapan, and maybe Limcamin at some point. Some people in my group have already found a similar supplement, which uses the active form of B6, and the symptoms that you generally get that we talk about, the problematic symptoms, seem to not be there anymore. So I feel like we found the issue on that sense. Dr. Wilson will try and say that we're wrecking the program. We're not. These are real problems by real people. Some people have been put in hospital, in my opinion, because of some of the issues with Megapan. It's rare, so don't start getting scared, but it's definitely an issue, and it looks like we've figured out what the problem is, and the only solution is to switch it out. That's basically it. So that's that one. The other one is saunas, the near-infrared saunas. A lot of people get a very wired feeling, a very horrible wired feeling. I'm not entirely sure what the cause is. It tends to be in people that have got a low NAK ratio, but it's definitely not a healing reaction, and it definitely causes a lot of problems, especially insomnia as well. and the benefits don't outweigh the negatives, in my opinion, if you can't do the near-infrared saunas because of this problem. And even working up, starting slowly and working up doesn't seem to work too well for people. So yeah, I've been basically saying that saunas, there's a wide variety of different saunas, and most of them make you sweat. They're all going to make you sweat. They're all going to induce positive benefits of sauna therapy, i.e. circulation, improved oxygenation, etc., etc. So one of the issues with, and we're not entirely sure why people get this feeling. It could be the EMFs involved, even though a lot of people say that the near-infrared saunas are very low EMF. They are, but we're still getting this feeling consistently in people, and it's not a healthy feeling and causes problems. So that needs to get dealt with. The issue is the second best sauna really would be a wood burning sauna, but a lot of people can't do that. And then another solution that some people are using is a homemade steam sauna. Now, I appreciate that that's not going to be as powerful as the near-infrared ones. However, it doesn't cause this particular wired feeling that people get. And people are able to tolerate it. So I say to these people, it's better to use that than to not do a sauna at all. I wouldn't recommend steam saunas, if in a group or down at the gym. It's got to be at home, and you've got to make sure you give the enclosure a good wipe down afterwards. But yeah, obviously a lot of people would struggle to get a wood burning fired one, so people are making homemade ones like that, and in my opinion it's better to use that system than to not use a sauna at all. At least people are going to be getting some of the benefits of the sauna without that horrible wired feeling that often people can get, and we're not entirely sure what causes that at the moment. Need to do some more research into that. That's pretty much it, really. Another thing is just more education, a lot more education. That's why if you've got a report from my app or a supplement report, you'll find that the information in there is way more. And yeah, an interesting thing I've been talking about clients to recently is the pulling down exercise. Kind of didn't want to say much about this because of how much people are going to jump on my back about it, controversy, but I generally found that sometimes it can be I don't know what the word is for it. I don't want to say too yang because that's a strip, but what I'm trying to say is that Dr. Wilson's recently brought out an update to the pulling down exercise where he's wanting people to also imagine energy running up the back as well rather than down the front. And this is something that I have had concerns about, if I'm being honest with you. It's felt a little bit out of balance for me for a while, and what's helped is me not only pushing down all the time but to bring a little bit of energy up the back as well. That's something that I've intuitively felt the pulling down exercise needed, but I was a little bit hesitant about saying it. Now, very much to my surprise, Dr. Wilson's also come out with an update recently about putting energy upwards. And this feat, I don't know if it's too yang, it can get a little bit sort of dark in a sense, a little bit too heavy, if that makes sense, and it just bringing the energy up the back a little bit sort of balances that out. So that's something that I've also been sort of talking to a few people behind the scenes about, but I've told them that I didn't really want to mention it, but now Dr. Wilson's mentioned it, then it makes a much more sense. So interesting. If I would have said that maybe 6 months ago, I would have probably Lewis is wrecking the program, and then Dr. Wilson comes out with the same thing. So those are the major changes so far. Also with the pulling down exercise, I actually prefer, and my clients prefer, the older version, which is more focusing on the fingers, and sort of pulling energy down at the same time. I found that didn't induce this intense, heavy feeling that I tended to find when just pulling down. And now Dr. Wilson's added this new addition. I think that's going to help balance that out. But I personally think that the older version of concentrating on the fingers for 10 seconds at a time, that and pulling down, that in my opinion felt a bit more balanced. So that's that. I think a common sense approach. Not wrecking the program. The BSIC, the Megapan, the Limcomin, the SBF, that's been a big problem for a long time. I've had a lot of people call me up about it, and congrats to some of the guys in my circle. They've by the sound figured it out, in my opinion. I've correlated that with people's experiences, and hopefully we're going to get a guy on the channel soon who's going to be talking about that particular problem in way more depth. But yeah, after that guy, I had a good chat about him, about the science behind it. I think I'm probably going to be switching Megapan out pretty soon to a different supplement to get away from this problem that occurs too often in my experience. So that's everything. We'll hopefully get this guy on in a few days who will talk about much more detail about active and inactive B6, and how the body processes it, and talk about some of the symptoms involved when the body accumulates inactive forms of B6. So hope that helps, and speak to you soon. Bye.